10 to 15 minutes about integrating your senior club or juvenile club. Okay? I remember back, and I suppose when I was playing the game, and when I was playing my own club Ferries, and when I was playing Underage, I didn't realise there was as much involved in running a club basically. Okay? If you look at all the work that goes on behind the scenes, running your Christian Old clubs, running your senior clubs, okay, and all the work that goes on, all the work the administrators do. And sometimes players don't understand or realise that, you know, and coaches as well, okay. I'm sure you have a lot of coaches in your club who may be coaching whatever team, even coaching your senior team, even coaching underage teams, who probably don't realise what's involved in running a club, okay, and the pressure involved from fundraising, from finance, and all that kind of stuff, okay. So I might touch brief on that tonight, and I'll hopefully show the importance, I suppose, of your senior club. Okay, so if you're the senior chairman, secretary, or you're on the senior board, the importance of you taking an active role in how your underage club is doing and in the running of the underage club. Okay? Okay, so if you think about it, right, I'm the senior club chairman in the club, okay? And it's all about playing the game, it's all about success at senior level, okay? So to achieve success at senior level, okay, right, then when players come to you at minor level, alright, they're more or less developed, alright? So therefore, for that reason alone, it's very important in the senior club as a hands-on what players are doing underage, okay? If players come to you at 17, 18, and they don't have the fundamental skills, then it's very, very hard to change. If you look at the second layer, when players are 12 years of age, their motor skills are more or less defined, okay? So, probably the most important coach in your club are 6s, 8s, 10s and 12s. So once young fella leaves in their 12s, it's very, very hard to make change after that. When I talk about motor skills, I talk about stuff like agility, balance, kicking skills. If you have a guy who's weak or on his second leg, alright, if you can correct that before he gets to 12, it's a lot easier. It's a tougher job after 12 years old, okay? 13 to 17 years old is crucial to keep players involved. I mean, it's probably the toughest years in terms of when kids, I see to go against a lot of clubs can field 2 teams under 12, under 14, 16. It's hard to keep young fellas involved, okay? And again, why is that? Maybe some players realise, okay, they're picking order, okay, maybe they're not getting gains, and they move away from the game for different reasons, okay? So then, by the time players come to your senior club when they're 18 years old, alright, you could have lost a lot of guys, alright, or else players could be coming to you, if you were a minor trainer or a 1 trainer, and maybe they're not fully developed. And how do we solve that? Okay? How do you make sure the players are fully developed, and how do you hold on to as many as you can? Alright? And I'll hopefully just in the next 10 or 12 minutes just give you some ideas on how to achieve that. So as I said, success is senior level determined by your underage structures. Okay? So for players to develop, I see there's 2 things. Alright? And I suppose from an administration point of view and from a coaching point of view. Alright? So from an administration point of view, it's very, very important you have your structure in place. And the next slide will deal with your structure. Okay, your club structure. And the second one is head coaches plan to implement an age-specific coaching program. So what actually do we coach our players? So do you know, as a Christian Oak secretary, Christian Oak chairman, or as a senior chairman, what your underage coach is doing with the players? Do you know what your 10 coach is doing? Alright? Or is it good enough now, okay, to appoint somebody to a job and let them off and do what they basically want? Okay? So I believe, alright, and a lot of progressive clubs believe, okay, that chairmen, secretaries, whoever, need to have a more hands-on approach in the planning process. So you need to be able to know within reason, okay? So if you appoint a coach to do a job, okay, at any age group, alright, every coach wants a little bit of leeway to do their own things. But it's very, very important that you can still an ID in terms of what that person is coaching. Alright? So therefore, if I'm coaching the Fires under 12s, alright, I should have an ID, alright, when those players leave me, what they're able to do, what standard they're at, what level they're at, and what skills they should possess. Alright? And I think it's very, very important the clubs plan to achieve that. Alright? And I'll show you in the next few minutes just how you get that ball rolling, okay? Just a kind of general coaching structure. Alright? So you have a coach officer on top, your club school liaison officer. That's a very, very important role. Every young guy in your club is going to the local primary school. Every young person in the parish is going to the local primary school. So probably useful exercise might be is particularly maybe the bigger clubs. Alright? Is every young fellow in the school playing football? Okay? Boy or girl? And if not, what's the reason for that? Alright? Again, some of the clubs that are more progressive actually target their primary schools. They target young fellas in the school, is every young fella playing football. Because, as I said, every young guy is going to school, or every young girl is going to school, alright? And it's a great place for those guys to start. Alright? So you're a club school liaison officer, children's officer, and I feel this person here, coaching coordinator, head coach, I believe now that can be the coaching officer, but I feel that person would kind of liaise what every coach is doing in every age group. So what under 6 is doing, what under 8 is doing, what our 12 is doing, 14, 16s, up along. And that person would coordinate that. Alright? And I think that's crucial. I think, and if the one message I can get across tonight from my experience, alright, I think everybody needs to have, we kind of need to have a more hands-on and more planning process involved in what your coaches do at the age groups, alright? And I'm conscious of the fact that maybe I'm talking to more administrators tonight than coaches. Sometimes coaches, alright, you appoint somebody to a job, okay, and all they're interested in is maybe that age group, okay? With the best will in the world, if I'm coaching the Friars under 14 team, I'm probably only interested in the 14 team. I want that group to be successful, okay? And maybe, and if we get our coaches thinking, okay, that they're kind of a cog in the wheel in the players' development, okay? So my job is to pass the players on to the 16 coach in a better state. So, when we're talking about developing players, their true potential, alright? We're talking about, so if you imagine there's a circle here, with your player in the centre, alright? So, what revolves around that? Your games program, how many games a year should a player get? Are all the players in your club getting sufficient games? Skill development is number 2. Alright? Have the players the skills they need in a certain age group? You have a coach education. Are all the coaches qualified? Have they all attended workshops? Are they all certified? Administration structures, which is the previous slide, alright? Are our administration structures strong? And resources then come down to footballs, equipment, pitches and so on, goalposts and so on, okay? So you imagine your player in the centre of that, and can you examine all those? Alright? So again, if you take under 16s, how many games should an under 16 get in a particular season? Alright? Are all the players getting sufficient games? Because if players don't get enough of games, then the chances are they probably won't continue playing. Alright? Players getting meaningful game time. That's why I feel the under 12s, the go games, have been very, very, very beneficial. Every player now under 12 gets meaningful game time. Alright? So if you look at an under 12 player, and I think it's paramount that all under 12s get to play. The most important thing is 6, 8s, 10s and 12s that the kids play, in my opinion. And I'll give you an example. You go back to an under 12 player, alright? Size is a big determinant, and there can be as big a difference as 3 or 4 years in terms of their physical development. So you take an under 12, okay, that's 3 years down the road. You put 2 12-year-olds here next to each other. One guy is physically developed 3 years further down than the next guy. So he's going to be stronger. But by the time both those guys are 17, 18 years old, probably the guy that's behind, he was under 12, has probably caught up to the other guy and maybe passed him out a little bit. But the chances are that guy has stopped playing, okay, because he hasn't been playing. He hasn't got enough game time, and that's why I feel under 12s have been very beneficial. I think it's very, very important as every under 12, 8s, 10s, 12s, everyone gets to play. They get meaningful game time. Games spread out over a period of time, okay? When I talk about that, what's the length of our season? Are all our games crammed into 8 weeks? Are they spread out over a period of time? Okay, I think players need to play over 4, 5, 6 month period of time. And we monitor our top players. Okay? Probably not a topic for tonight, but it should be part of your coaching plan, okay? You look at your best under 16s, your best under 14s, and it's probably worse in junior clubs. How many games are those guys playing? So you look at best under 16, he's probably playing minor, okay? Probably playing as a division, maybe with development squads, alright? So who's the onus in there to keep an eye on that guy, alright? I think the clubs have a big role there, alright? We don't want to go down the road where we're overplaying our best players, and what tends to happen then is that our best players are playing a lot of games, but they're not getting enough coaching, okay? So if you take the example there, that under 16 guy, he could be playing 3 or 4 games a week. If he's a dual club, it could be more. So if he's playing a lot of games, the number of coaches that he's doing probably isn't enough. Alright? So we need to get a balance right and the number of games players get and the coach they get as well. Alright? So just very briefly, and if I was to sit down tomorrow, okay, and put together a club coaching plan, where would we start? Alright? Now, this probably sounds a little bit more daunting than what it is. It's very, very simple stuff. We'd probably put all the coaches together in a similar room like this, from 6s to under 16, okay? And we look at what are the most important skills of every age group, okay? What's the most important skills under 6s? What's the most important skills under 8s, okay? So if I'm under 6, it's important my players that we do the fundamental movement skills, they have agility, balance, coordination, they can catch the ball, okay? They can kick the ball, alright? And if you talk to any of the coaches, guys, there's windows of opportunity there, alright? If players don't develop certain skills at certain times, then the chances are they won't develop those skills 100% if that window passes by, okay? So you look at your movement skills, alright? And there's loads of examples. If you watch any games around the county, you might see particularly bigger players, alright, who are very good footballers, but they move badly, alright? And the time to start that is when those guys are 6, 7 and 8, alright? And again, that's included as part of your club coaching plan, alright? And again, all the administrators are doing okay is setting up the structure to do that, alright? It's the coaches within your club then, alright, that will put this program together. Okay? So your role here would be in setting the ball rolling is, okay, put your structure together, and then your coach will put the plan together. Okay? So what we're looking at, your technical skills, when we introduce all our technical skills. Okay? For example, kicking, are all our players come from both sides? Can they kick off their left, off their right? Can they fist their left, fist their right? And the time to do that is when they're at their formative years. Tactical developments, physical development, team play games, and putting all this together in an annual coaching plan. Okay? So when do we introduce these skills? Alright? So again, it's just a matter of under 8s, what do we coach at 8s? What physical stuff do we do under 8s? What tactical stuff do we do under 8s? Okay? Again, you look at the simple, we can think of a lot of examples where players have all the skills of the game, but they make bad decisions. They do the wrong thing at the wrong time. Okay? Now, is that something you can coach? Again, the player, when he gets the ball, he does the right thing all the time. And those things can be coached, provided the correct situation is set up in training when the players are at the right age. Okay? So, what's your coaching plan outline? It's your plan, your games program, how often our teams train, coaches use session planners. Alright, and again, I'd encourage all coaches, every session we do, they write out what we're going to do. Okay, we plan out a session, we write it down, and the coach keeps that. So if you as a club could do that, all right. And I know, right, there's a little bit of work on this, but if you as a club, right, could say all our coaches record or plan every session, all right. So imagine 12 months down the road, what you have then, right, is you have 20 sessions under 16s, 20 session 14s, and the same number 12s, and all the way down. Okay. So of course, do the same the following year. Over a period of time, what you're doing is building up a big bank of sessions. Okay? Alright? And it's like anything else, I suppose. I mean, whether it's work-wise, if you're going to do something, it's important you plan for it. Alright? So, I don't think our best coaches would go down to the fields and just say, listen, okay, decide 10 minutes before we go, what are we going to coach tonight? Okay? And you have to spend time just planning. That's the advantage of planning sessions, okay, in terms of you're building up a bank of knowledge. So therefore, if you were a parent coming in who's a kid at under 6th, alright, and that parent wants to come in and take a team, alright, who's never coached before, alright, if you have 20 sessions from the previous year, what you have then, okay, is something to give that person, alright, and I think it's just, I think it's helpful for new coaches, alright. Roles, responsibility, or management skills, and what you're doing is developing what is called a long-term player pathway, outlining skills to be developed at each age group. Okay? We look at your personnel, okay? I think the most important factor within anything, okay? If you have good people in any job, you probably achieve results. Or if your structure is poor, personnel is the most important thing. Applying someone to lead the process, that's your head coach. We train our coaches, which is crucial. I think everybody, responds to, attending workshops, attending courses, just doing a little bit of training. All coaches want to put the program together, so that's why I mentioned the idea of every coach might come together, sit down in a room like this with a big gang, And if the coaches are involved in putting the plans together, everyone buys into it a little bit easier, okay? So if I'm involved in the process, if I'm involved in the decision making of something, then the chances are I'm gonna buy into it a little bit more, okay? And the last point there is a point I made at the start, right? Coaches technology, be aware of what is involved in running a club, alright? And I suppose I can say the same for players there, okay? I think players and coaches probably don't realise, and again, maybe that's a broad statement, but in general don't realise what's involved in running a club, okay? And I think we're talking about creating a stronger link in your senior club or Christian No club. I think if you could create a stronger link in your administration section, your coaching section, okay? From a fundraising point of view, from a finance point of view, just even from just club meeting point of view, alright, where everything is involved and everything, okay? Again, I know time is difficult, okay? Maybe you're struggling at the start to get somebody to take on the 14 team, alright? But I think it's important to spend a bit of time thinking about who your personnel are. I don't think it's good enough anymore, as I said, that we appoint anybody to coach our kids. If somebody volunteers for a job now, and again I'm aware of the fact that it's hard to get people to do jobs, okay? But is it good enough if somebody volunteers for a job, you give them 25 players and say off you go, do what you basically want, okay? I think there has to be a little bit more planning involved in that, okay, I feel. And I think our players deserve that. Okay, so just to summarise briefly, I'm always, in fact, I know every kind of club is judged maybe a little bit of seeing success. So if your senior team is going well, you know, it kind of ripples down to the club in terms of there's a feel-good factor. And how you get senior success, in my opinion, okay, is that you plan underage first. Okay. Again, if from a senior point of view, if you could say all the players coming and we're holding on to all our players, we're making sure there's minimum drop off, and all our players are coming in terms of with a generally good skill level. Alright? I always look into your best coaches should be your underage teams. I can still remember the coaches that coached me at 6s, 8s and 10s, okay, as if it was yesterday. Because those people made a positive impression on me, you know. It's amazing how in high esteem young guys hold coaches, you know. You know, and that's why I feel it's very, very important the right people are put in charge of teams, okay? Because it's a big position of responsibility. And again, I mentioned the point that I know it's hard for clubs, you know, sometimes to get coaches to take teams. I understand the problems there, okay, but I suppose it's trying to balance that. Christian No, we've seen a club work together to develop players. The point I made, I think, again, this is for our better players. Players are playing too many games, not enough coaching. And coaching plan is crucial. I think it's very important in every club. And again, I could be talking here tonight, and a lot of clubs might have a coaching plan in place, say in terms of, you know, they plan for what they coach at every age group. Maybe other clubs haven't, but I think it's crucial. You know, and again, it's something it sounds a little bit more daunting than it is. It's just a matter of getting stuck into getting the ball rolling, getting people together, and off you go. Saying just in terms of fixtures, I think it's crucial that players play enough of games. I think, particularly the towns, the bigger towns, maybe Tralee, not so much Carn, but definitely Tralee, okay. We had situations where from the 16 players maybe playing 5 or 6 games a year, alright? That's changed now, okay, with the new regions. But I mean, if you, so on one side of things, okay, you guys playing not enough of games, on the other side of the coin, you have fellas, your dual players probably playing too many games, your best guys. So how do you get the balance in between for your club guys, who are going to be with your club all the time? And the more players you can keep involved, the more fellas you can keep playing, just the more players your club senior team, your club minor team will have down the road. And I understand it's not easy. It's not easy to keep teenagers involved, okay? When kids get to 15, 16, 17, you know, their head is turned in other directions. It's not easy to keep those guys. I understand the pressure involved, but I think if those guys, so if you can imagine, if kids get to teenage years, if they have the fundamental skills, they'll probably enjoy the game a little bit more. And if they get game time, the chances are you have a better chance of holding on to them, okay? Just the role of the GDAs in this, okay? I suppose just from an overall club point of view, in every division you've a games development administrator, and if clubs need a help and any side of things, okay, putting club plans together, doing club sessions, it's important that they use the full-time or the games development administrator in their division, okay? And that person has experience and knowledge of all aspects of coaching, so that's a resource there. So I think it's important that clubs use that resource. I hope now I didn't rush through that a little bit. I just want to give people kind of a broad outline of of the importance of kind of planning, kind of just putting an overall club plan together, and just broad outline, broad basic steps involved in it. Okay. So again, thanks very much for your time. If anybody has any questions, you just outside it tonight, okay, you can contact me anytime. I'll answer the best I can. My mobile is in the order, so anybody is free to ring me anytime they want. And we'll try. I understand, though, I suppose, I don't want to be in a position where I'm up here tonight, just give you an ideal scenario. I understand the question involved in clubs, what's involved in running a club, okay? Just see my own club of areas. But I think it's very, very important that you aim high, okay? You aim to do the right thing all the time, okay? You aim to put a plan in place, and then the coach will respond to this. I think it's important that kind of the administrators, the kind of senior people, and I think if the senior club is driving this, your senior club drives this, your senior chairman, secretary, whoever, I think it carries a lot of weight. Okay?
The one question, is there any clubs at the moment that you would highlight as having something close to this in place?
Yeah. There is no, I suppose, I don't want to kind of highlight clubs tonight, but there is. I mean, in every division you have 2 or 3 clubs who would put a lot of thought into what they coach their underage players. Okay? What we coach our under 6s, 8s, 10s. A lot of clubs put thought into that. They think about who they're putting in charge of teams, put together, write it down. What we coach our players. Definitely, yeah. Definitely, yeah.
And Donal, the question for you, let's say the 10 trainer came along and he was taking over a team, but he's never trained a team before. Like, is there any example set of skills he should be doing, or is he looking to the club to say, what should I be doing?
Yeah, I suppose in that situation, to kind of prevent that happening, if everybody sat down, okay, and if the club sat down and designed it themselves, okay, what are the skills? So if all your coaches in the class sat down, okay, and said, okay, what are the skills we should coach under 10s? Alright, okay? And you'll be amazed by this. Within the club, alright, there's probably a load of experienced coaches who actually know this stuff, but nobody's actually maybe come together and sat down, okay? So if you brought all the coaches together from 6 to 16, alright, and spend a night at it, spend a couple nights at it, and decide what we coach at 6, what we coach at 8, to answer your question, what we coach at 10s, alright? So you write it down, and I think that works a little bit better than to maybe give somebody, okay, or to give a club or give a set of coaches, okay, these are the skills you coach under 10s. Whereas I feel if the coaches are kind of involved in putting together, then I think you get a better buy-in. I think people are more likely to respond to something that they're involved in together themselves. Or, I think. But there is, I suppose, I mean, again, the GAA, or I know Vince is a good idea in terms of what skills should be coached under 10s, So when the players leave under 10, what skills should they have, and I think it's very important that every club works to put that together, because, as I said, once players pass a certain age, it's harder then to develop certain skills. You look at guys that can't kick their second leg, okay, can't fist their second hand, or move badly, But I hope that answers your question.
Yeah,
No, I was saying back to Joe, in Underage, we were hoping that that actually that they talked at the beginning, but
Yeah.
the seeds are well enough. Like, so, how do you?
You see, like, and I know AIM was as a fixtures marketing group, last year, I think it's very hard to put hard and fast rules together. Now, I think the club needs to sit down, okay, and decide, alright, if we have a dual player, we'd say at number 16 level, for example, okay, alright, we look at the number of teams that he's involved in, alright, and you decide, okay, if that guy's playing football and hurling with his club, with his school, with his division, do we decide, okay, for this year he only plays under 16, okay, he doesn't play minor, Now, again, that's not for me to say that's the right thing to do, but I think something like that needs to be done, because if you have a dual player playing under 16, under 15, for example, he's probably playing minor as well, he's playing across a lot of age groups, and the chances are, when he gets to 18, 19, will you still have him, or will he have developed, because he hasn't been coached enough, basically, because he's playing so many games. I think the parents play a very important role in that, if I was in the club, okay, if there was dual players playing a lot of games, I'd probably talk to parents first, okay, explain the story to them, alright, explain this young man played 70 games last year, and then who decides in the club then what teams he plays with, okay? See, I suppose it's very hard and fast rule involved. It's under 16 you can't play minor and so on. But I think the club needs to decide how many games. And in the ideal world, if a young fella plays 3 games a week, he doesn't play any more games, okay? Or 2 games a week, okay? So if he plays a school game, a hurling a football game at under 16 level, is that enough then? And he doesn't play minor, you know?
Probably fine if you have big numbers.
Yeah, it's very tough, yeah. It's very hard, yeah. It's very hard, yeah. I understand, yeah. I understand where you're coming from, you know. I suppose Quater are tight with numbers, Simmons are tight with numbers, so players are going to play across age groups. There's no answer to that question really, you know. There's no, like, 70 games a week, 70 games is a huge number of games, you know. Aims come apart from maybe Aim might have some answers, but I just...
Great thing within the club, because if you play football players on the hurling and then you're going through the hurling, like, you know, you've been thinking players from the hurling to go more to you.
Yeah.
So you're trying to keep both sides happy. That's what it ends up with, better players playing.
Would you see walking in St. Simmons and Craig at 16 would only play under 16?
Well, it's very hard on the start. I mean, it's just
So he's probably playing, that young fella's probably playing under 16 hurling football, playing with the school, maybe playing with Field Rangers. You know, so how many games, and if he's in a hurling football development squad, you know, how many games does he play on his age group, you know? Now, there's no easy answer to that. Like, Jude just makes a tough call, say, listen, he's not playing minor, you know? And, you know, it comes back to Mayor's question, maybe, are the minor trainers going to be saying, we can't feed teams of this young man, but I think it comes back to the point, I think the more players you can keep involved, okay? You would have, you know, and every club has issued a number to make it to minor. If you keep more fellas involved, alright, you have a better chance than with your best from 16 would probably be in your top 4 or 5 minor players as well. So it's my advice would be that I definitely restrict the number of games young fellas play, you know. I think the best players, I think clubs have struggled for those to keep those guys involved on the road, you know, even our best fellas, you know. So okay, thanks for your time.